Good morning, everybody. See what the world is bringing us today. Trump threatens Greenland's leader with big problem. Prime Minister Nielsen said the island chooses Denmark and the EU over the U.S. President Donald Trump has dismissed Greenland Prime Minister Nielsen as someone who doesn't even know, threatening him with a big problem after Nielsen reaffirmed the island's commitment to Denmark over the U.S. The confrontation over Trump's ambitions to acquire the strategic Arctic island reached a new peak at a joint press conference in Copenhagen on Tuesday, where Danish Prime Minister Frederiksen and Nielsen presented a united front. If we have to choose between the United States and Denmark here, now, we choose Denmark. We choose NATO. We choose the Kingdom of Denmark. We choose the EU, Nielsen has said. The comments made on eve of high-level talks in Washington between Danish and Greenlandic officials and U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance, and Secretary of State Marco Rubio drew a sharp retort from Trump. That's their problem, Trump told reporters at a joint Andrews base. I disagree with him. I don't know who he is. I don't know anything about him, but that's going to be a big problem for him. One way or the other, we are going to have Greenland. Trump has argued that the U.S. must control Greenland to prevent Chinese or Russian dominance. We covered this yesterday. It's a lot more than just that. And if you think all these moves are made just because of the surface level rhetoric we're getting, you're sadly mistaken. An allegiance disputed not only by Moscow and Beijing, but also by regional officials. I think maybe surface level, that's why they want Greenland. We talked about the real reason why they wanted Greenland, in my humble opinion. I believe that's the reason why they want it. They want to create these 15-minute smart cities, but that's going to be the kind of the test area to do it. There's also a strategic reason behind them acquiring Greenland. But it's more than just that. It's absolutely more than just that. You know, we went into Venezuela, arrested Maduro on charges that he was head of the cartel. Then we had to admit in federal court that he wasn't part of a cartel, that we don't really even know if that cartel exists. We kind of made it up. Just kind of like we made up the weapons of mass destruction that Saddam Hussein had so we could drop a whole bunch of boys in there and take over the oil fields. Patriotism aside, we're some bullies right now. It's like I said, if we want Greenland, we can take it. There's not really a whole lot Greenland can do about it. There's not a whole lot Denmark can do about it. Not a whole lot EU can do about it. If we want it, we'll take it. And Trump is in a position right now, he's not bluffing. He wants Greenland, and he's going to have it. But you have to understand something. This goes back to a greater need or want or whatever. You know, this goes all the way back to the United States controlling all of North America and Central America. It does. It's exactly why we went there. We're going to go into Colombia. We're going to go into Cuba. We're going to control everything in the Western Hemisphere. Or Trump has renamed the Monroe Doctrine the Donroe Doctrine after himself. Either he did it or somebody else did it, but he certainly picked up on that mantra, or nomenclature rather. we're going to control it, especially if he's president. Iran regime collapse could unleash nightmare scenario for Israel. The missiles and other nuclear programs aren't going anywhere. If Khamenei is ousted, they could fall into the hands of even more extreme elements who won't hesitate to use them. I was teaching a class the other day, and we were talking about the fall of the Western Roman Empire. And what we were talking about was when you have things like this, it creates a vacuum in the world. That vacuum in the world allows all the other players who would never be able to get a foothold to get a foothold. And a lot of times you end up turning a bad situation into a really, really bad situation because of this. Sometimes if you're trying a color revolution like they're trying in Iran right now, that you've got this populist uprising, you oust the leaders, you get them out of the way, you install who you want, maybe you don't install who you want, or who you put in there doesn't turn out to be the person you think they are, which we've done over and over in different countries when we install new leaders in a regime change. Syria is a prime example. Al-Assad was in there. Al-Assad, by all accounts, he wasn't a good guy. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he was a good guy, but the region was stable. Syria was stable. He allowed Christians to go, kind of do their own thing in a Muslim country and just kind of managed, I guess. Now, did he do some stuff that warranted some? Yeah, he wasn't good. But now you ousted al-Assad. He takes off to Russia. Now you've got a guy who was on the most wanted list from Al-Qaeda. He was either Al-Qaeda or ISIS. I can't remember which one. Doesn't really matter. Two sides of the same coin. Who was on the most wanted list, who was beheading people over there. He is now the president of Syria, and you got him over in Washington shaking his hand, going, talking about great job you're doing in Syria. I mean, we're getting boys chewed up over there because of political reasons. Politicians don't ever go to war. Always remember that. Rich kids don't go to war. It's just a fact. Let's see what's happening on the left coast. Protesters block or recount blood attack of Homeland Security agents in Santa Ana. 21-year-old protester said he is now blind in his left eye after a federal agent hit him with a less than lethal fourth round at I'll get it out, round at close range on Friday in Santa Ana. Always remember this. You got ICE on the ground, you got Homeland Security on the ground, running through here, getting the criminals out. 100% agree. Out the back door, gotta go. The problem is when you change political leadership and you've already set this precedent, what is the other political leader going to do with this? Because you've set the precedent